In 2021, I uploaded Elevated, the development story of Super Smash Bros. Melee, to this channel. My primary goal was to weave together everything we know about Melee's development at the time into one documentary. Creators Turned Down for Walt, Samox, and Ludwig each streamed the video on their Twitch channels and gave live commentary, for which I am truly grateful. Since that video, there have been a few key pieces of information that help fill in this story that I'd like to share with you. So today, we're going to go back and look at a few things that I missed the first time, uncover the now archived HAL Laboratories Diaries blog that document some of the developer experiences that, to my knowledge, have yet to be covered on YouTube. Then we'll cover some of the discoveries Sakurai himself has revealed in the time since my first video, followed by an interview I did with Johnny Metz, formerly of Nintendo World Report, about what his experience was like at E3 2001 seeing Melee for the first time himself. Then we'll conclude with what happened just after Melee's development. First, let's start with a couple unused sound effects I didn't mention the first time. Zelda has two alternative audio files for Nehru's Love and Din's Fire, which can be heard here respectively.
Huh? Yeah!
Fox and Falco had specific dialogue in Japanese for when one would win against the other, a feature that would only be included in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Here's Fox's, which translates to, "Don't worry about it, Falco."
気にするなよ、ファルコ。
And of course, here's Falco's, which translates to, "Is that all you've got?"
お前の腕前ってのはその程度か?
Pikachu and Pichu each have particularly ferocious unused audio clips, heard here.
Booga! Pichu!
A placeholder sound effect for the Great Bay stage, likely originally intended for Tingle, remains unused and is simply an audio clip of Boo's laugh from Super Mario 64. The file name of Captain Falcon's side smash is sfxv_captain_firekick, which implies that he originally retained his original side smash from Smash 64 before it was changed in Melee's final release. Now to the hidden food in stages. You heard me right. You may have seen this before with the rice ball hidden on Onett and the sushi in Mushroom Kingdom, but were you aware of the strawberry on Yoshi's Story? Thanks to Chief Neef for sending this my way, and to Primal for discovering it in the first place. Seajag, also known as Barry Barrows, also discovered an earlier version of Melee's title screen with intelligent systems omitted. This remains on the disc, and there's actually even more to discover, and if you're interested in this, I recommend checking out the Cutting Room Floors Melee entry. Now I'd like to share what I was able to gather from the HAL Diaries entries on the HAL Laboratory blog. These are just rough online translations, but nevertheless we can get a sense of some interesting stories about Melee from the developer's perspective at the time. Let's read through some of these together. Let's begin with the Sis Dolphin announcement series of posts where they talk about the unveiling of GameCube. First, the team discusses how technically impressive GameCube was when they initially saw the emulator or demo of it in action. It was highly secretive and protected in a locked room. At first they tried porting Sys64 libraries and code, but soon realized they needed to start from scratch and refactor their current project specifically for GameCube. They only had an emulator to work with in the beginning, which only gave them a fraction of the actual hardware's capabilities. By the time they finally got it, they described having to rush to create an impressive technical demo for Space World 2000, and they worked on the famous Meowth's Party demo. It took about 3 weeks of concentrated work to finish it, including working weekends. They completed it just 3 days before the event. They go into more detail about this, but I wanted to read just this section from it. Following Space World, we continued to refine Sis Dolphin. Matsuda took the primary responsibility for the game engine component. By around September 2000, it was functioning in a form close to its final version, so we provided it to the Super Smash Bros. Melee development team, who was working on the game at the time. We made improvements based on their feedback. Finally, in April 2001, we reached the milestone of releasing Sis Dolphin 1.0 at the Nintendo GameCube.
I don't know about
School
you guys,
seminar.
I fucking love
The seminar
this shit.
response was very positive, and now
Like-
Sis Dolphin is widely available to many
Like,
game.
call it nostalgia, call it whatever you want, but seeing this, just when they show me literally
GameCube developers.
just a bunch of people in 2000
just 3 weeks of
standing
which only
around,
gave them a
you know, talking about the stupid size of the GameCube disc. in shitty font. That's another thing. Like there's something, it's a weird phenomenon, like anything older, anything from the past, you know, in retrospect it looks like shit, right? Like just even the font they use on these fucking slides look like shit. You know what I'm saying? I love it. You want to know a very similar phenomenon? Hold on. Let me find it here. I'll just leave it playing.
A fraction of the actual hardware's capabilities. By the time they finally got it, they described having to rush to create an impressive technical demo for Space World 2000.
Was it XD?
They worked on the famous
XD
Meowth's Party
playthrough.
demo. It took about 3 weeks of concentrated work to finish it, including...
So in Pokemon XD, when we played that, right? When we played Pokemon XD last month, right? There's that one area you go to. Yeah. This area? Alright, get along with the... Move on from the crap. Doo-doo. Go back there, bro. I need it. It's like the second visit back. Not Fnac City. Oh my god, this is gonna drive me crazy. I just need to see when he goes back. Am I just a drug addict? When do you leave this town? Just so you guys know, I'm not fucking crazy. There's actually something I want to show you here. How is this a long play? This guy's this guy's speed running right now. He's never coming back to this fucking town. Alright, here we go. Never mind. But he's back in the lab. How the fuck did he get back to the lab? Oh, here. Look. The text used on this welcome sign, the font used here is just fucking free Windows 98 font. Like anything like that, my eye always catches it whenever I see it. I make a mental note of it. Something about it is just nostalgic to me, because like nowadays you wouldn't see text like this. It'd be stylized. They blur the line a little bit. That's the point I was trying to make.
Weekends. They completed it just 3 days before the event.
Oh, definitely, Excel. That's such an autism
I wanted
thing.
to read just this section from it. Following Space World,
Thank you, Adolph. I hope you guys are all doing great. Happy Monday. I went fucking bonkos in the gym today because I was listening to some old Linkin Park, and then I started listening to the Melee soundtrack, and then I started going apeshit in the gym. And then I'm on my second iced coffee today, so like by the end of the stream, I'm gonna drop dead in the chair.
continued to refine Sis Dolphin. Matsuda took the primary responsibility for the game engine component. By around September 2000, it was functioning in a form close to its final version, so we provided it to the Super Smash Bros. Melee development team, who was working on the game at the time. We made improvements based on their feedback. Finally, in April 2001, we reached the milestone of releasing Sis Dolphin 1.0 at the Nintendo
Also, that's another
GameCube
thing.
Tools.
Look how unnatural Ganon's legs behave in this. In the tech demo for the GameCube.
We reached the
look at how
milestone of
unnatural, like,
releasing
just
Sis
look at it.
Dolphin 1.0 at the Nintendo GameCube
Like
Tools seminar.
I get nostalgic
The
about
seminar
like
response was very positive,
old
and
shitty
now Sis
animation,
Dolphin
you
is
know,
widely
like because
available
back
to
then
many
we would see
GameCube
this and be like,
developers
oh my
through
god, this looks
Nintendo.
incredible,
So with
you
that
know.
context
But
in
now
mind,
in
we know the
2020 we look
Melee
at like
team
this
got
is dog
actual
shit. What is
hits in
this?
September 2000. It also makes sense why the Meowth trophy in the production version of the game is the way that it is with the rigging still intact. Now I'd like to read some select entries and excerpts from the HAL Diaries. May 16, 2001, E3 business trip. From May 17th
Taco,
to 19th,
stop
local
updating
time,
me on the
world's
statistics
largest
of
game
that
show,
fire.
the
You're just gonna
Electronic
concern me
Entertainment
even
Expo,
more.
commonly known as E3, will be held in Los Angeles.
Sounds like a
United
West
States.
Coast problem to me.
Every year, a few members from HAL Laboratory go to observe, and this year 12 of us, including myself, will be attending.
What's up, Pubaba?
Obakane.
I
The
hope you
E3
guys
team
are all
returned
doing
safely
great.
on the night of the 22nd. The highlight of this year's
It's
E3 was
it's an
undoubtedly
interesting
Super
week
Smash
because
Bros.
we
Melee,
have.
currently under
Oh, let me
development
guys
at HAL
catch you up really
Laboratory.
quick. It's an interesting
After
week.
maintaining
We
silence
have
for a long
there's this PlayStation thing tomorrow, right? What was that they're announcing? A PlayStation 5 technical presentation. So, and it's pretty much confirmed it's going to be the PS5 Pro. I think they named the video it or something like that. I don't know, right? Like, I don't really know if I care, right? Like, I don't even play in 4K. Like, this monitor is still a 1080p fucking. This monitor is still a 1080p piece of shit. This thing, I've had this monitor since I was like in college. That one's 1080p too. This one's 4K, but you guys are on it. I don't know. My eyes are not cultured. You know what I'm saying? So. I mean, I don't know, right? Like, I'll watch it in the morning. I won't stream it, but realistically, it's gonna be. Hold on. Don't say anything. I wonder if someone's gonna respond to me. Am I gonna get banned by PlayStation? Favorite holiday? I'm just gonna give a random IP address. And then alternatively or also I went to the doctor today to really like ask them like, hey, can you test if I have asthma or something? And you know what she straight up told me? She's like, your fucking nostrils are all fucked up. Or she didn't say that. She basically looked at my ears and was like, you have a lot of earwax, which makes a lot of sense because I'm Italian and I never got that. I never did that thing where they clean your ears, right? She looked at my nostrils. She's like, yeah, it's very irritated in your sinuses. So I'm going to an ENT doctor on Thursday, and he's gonna blast my fucking ears clean, and he's gonna probably stick a camera up my nose or something. I don't know, but I'm low key. I want to hand the guy my phone and be like, can you record it when you flush my ears clean? I want to see the fucking alien shit that comes out of there. You know?
Time, the game was finally unveiled in a big way at Nintendo's private show.
Taco,
at
I'm not
LA
going.
Theater
Taco,
on the eve of
stop
E3.
reminding me that your
It was received with
your
enthusiastic
whole home
cheers
is on
from the
fire.
global press, game retailers, and developers who had gathered.
But yeah, I've had
At
bad
the Nintendo
earwax
booth
for a
in the
while
E3
now, and she
venue.
told me, she's like, yeah, it's all dried in there. She was a Chinese lady. I'm not gonna. She said, yeah, it's all dried in there. And like, I can recall numerous instances where I would be like somewhere inconvenient, like, I would be at work or something, or like, I don't know, fucking checking out at Target, right? Or stealing Pokemon packs or something. And you know what would happen? I would feel a big black glob of earwax just fall out of my ear. It would just roll out like that. And then it would like land on the belt in Target. And I would just look at the fucking cashier lady, like the poor, like 15-year-old minimum wage worker, when a piece of my fucking brain fell out of my ear. So like that's not a sign, and I've always had bad hearing, and I got the fucking ear tumor, right? Like I don't know if like what's the real source of my bad hearing, but
Numerous
I'm
demo
kind of
stations were set up,
excited to get my
attracting
shit
large
flushed
crowds
out, is what I'm
continuously.
saying.
It was incredibly gratifying to see our game being so well received. Although it was exhausting, I'm glad I got to attend E3. Obacon.
Yo, May 19, 2001.
E3 was packed with people. With poor eyesight and limited English, I could only feel the atmosphere, which was often drowned out by the noise and lights. In the midst of the crowd, the Nintendo booth stood out with many people playing Smash Brothers. I was nervous about potential
I can't believe, and this is not... I'm just making the association here, okay? I'm painting the picture of what the world looked like, okay? So September 11th happened, and then 2 months later, Melee came out. Like, I think that's interesting a little bit. Shut up, Sinkle. Like, isn't that mildly interesting, right? Like, just a tad. That, like, realistically, Ground Zero was still fresh. It was fresh and warm. And Melee came out. I'm not implying anything. I'm not saying Melee came out because of 9/11. I'm saying, like, in my head, I was just like how old was I? I was 8 years old. No one I knew died in 9/11, and I was 8 years old, so I was like, oh, shit like this happens all the time. Planes always crash into buildings, because I was, I didn't know any better. And I was like, oh, well, wars happen all the time, And meanwhile, my parents were like, holy shit, they're gonna draft the kids, whatever. I remember, low-key, I remember my dad on the couch when me and Allie got out of school early on 9/11. Me and Allie were like partying in our room because we got out of school early. We were like watching Beyblade, I think. And I hear my dad in the living room. He's like, I'm going to go to war. my dad, you know what I actually think? I think my dad, all he cared about was he didn't want to go himself. You know what I'm saying? Because he was in the military when he was young. Or something like that. Oh, it's so funny. Just Raph, I thought you were going to say something like she was the best pilot in the Middle East or something. Because we were 8 years old, hamster. Like, we don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't, like, it's a weird thing. Like when you're 8 years old and something happens and you see it happen out your third grade window, right? But then, like, I was just like, in my head, you know what I thought? I was like, well, that makes sense. Buildings are really tall. I'm surprised this doesn't happen more often. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was a whoopsie. I thought it was two big whoopsies. And then Melee came out. Shut the fuck up, guys.
Bugs silently begging for leniency. Despite this, I realized the event was primarily for the industry. Misawa. The Nintendo booth was extremely crowded. The Smash Bros. Demo stations were swamped. The positive reactions exceeded my expectations, and it felt worth attending just to see that. Kagekina Kita. August 28, 2001. English translation of Super Smash Bros. Melee.
I actually don't know if me and Allie got Melee. If me and Allie got Melee on... We got it on Christmas. I don't know if we got it on Christmas 2001 or 2002. I don't remember. We might have gotten it a year later.
Famous for Ichiro and the Great Demon God.
Bro, real talk, Cyrus. If 9/12 happened today, right? Like, it would be fucking insane. Like, everyone's so on edge in the city nowadays. When that asshole lit himself on fire, in Manhattan, that was scary, and I was nowhere near it. I was just like, what's that cooked asshole doing in Lower Manhattan?
Typhoon number 11 and left with it.
Thank you, Xcal.
Interestingly,
I think it has to do with the sunscreen I'm using. It's very pasty, but it has minerals in it.
In any case, Smash Brothers is moving
no pork chop. It's not Friday.
Thanks to the efforts of such individuals. The power of people across borders brings borderless fun. Be sure to reserve your copy once the release date is
That's
announced.
another thing. Sorry to change the subject away from September 11th, but I also love old footage of game development where, like, nowadays everyone has NASA grade computers. Back in 2000, like, a NASA grade computer was a big piece of shit. It just looks like a fat fuck CRT, like a dev unit. You know what I'm saying?
Tanigawa, Nintendo Space World, 2001. A little while ago, from August 24th to 26th, Nintendo Space World.
I'm sorry,
2001 was
Zinkel.
held at Makahari Messe. This
Can
game
you
show,
elaborate?
hosted by Nintendo, featured 5 titles from HAL Laboratory. Here's a brief overview. Super Smash Bros. Melee. Already announced at E3, this GameCube title featured the game event Premium Fight, which attracted thousands of participants.
I just
creating an
love, like,
incredibly intense atmosphere.
all of this.
It's rare for us to have an opportunity to let users experience our in-development products. So events like
Shinny,
this
that's
are invaluable
incredibly
to us.
interesting. That's actually insanely interesting. That's the most interesting thing I've heard all day. There's a real possibility that Bin Laden was caught up on the news from Space World. You know what I'm saying? Zinko, what do they scream? Never mind. Never mind.
The high expectations and excitement from everyone were palpable and provided great motivation. We are committed to working together to further improve these titles and deliver them to you. Obikani. Super Smash Bros. Melee enters the Platinum Hall of Fame. As many of you already have seen, Super Smash Bros. Melee has been inducted into the Platinum Hall of Fame in the last week's issue of Weekly Famitsu. Receiving such an accolade is indeed gratifying. The game will be released in just a few days. Whether you play alone or battle with friends, it's going to be a lot of fun.
This is so
Personally, I
cool,
find
right?
it easy to
Like, getting
play.
their point of view, right? Like, they're talking like they know that something special is about to happen with the game coming out, you know? It's just very... And, like, even then, Melee exceeded their expectations because it's, like, literally everybody involved. I don't think they've gone on to do anything bigger and better. Not that, you know, it doesn't mean anything about their career, but they literally built something so iconic and so timeless. You know what I'm saying? Unless they fucking go to Mars or cure cancer, you know, Melee's an easy first place of accomplishments.
And more deeply engaging than the previous installment. I hope everyone will discover various ways to enjoy Super Smash Bros. Melee. November 21, 2001. Super Smash Bros. Melee will finally be released. November 22, 2001. Super Smash Bros. Melee release. This is Ichida from the PR and Advertising Department. The GameCube title Super Smash Bros. Melee is released today. Although the journey was long, my involvement as a PR person was relatively short compared to the development staff, so my struggles were minimal. Nevertheless, I am deeply moved by the release of this game. I've been reading the fan submissions on the Smash Bros. Dojo website. Many posts expressed excitement and impatience for the release. I hope everyone who got their hands on the game is enjoying it now. For those who haven't, don't worry, there's no rush to play it immediately. Anytime you play it is the perfect time.
Well, Jakku, that's
Enjoy
correct.
Super Smash Bros. Melee not only
You're
during
correct
happy
in
moments,
that
but
assumption.
also to lift your
The thing is, it's like, if it would have had another year, right? You know what it would have had? It would have had, like, a few more characters. It would have had, like Snake and Sonic. And you know, it would have been a bit more polished, but it wouldn't be the perfect imperfect thing it is. You know what I'm saying? It would have been more balanced. Who the fuck wants that? If Melee had one more year of balance, they would have found and gotten rid of wave dashing. Or L cancel. Or L canceling was intentional. They would have gotten rid of fucking, like, I don't know, the Ken combo. You know what I'm saying? Like, in a best case situation, another year development time for Melee would have given us like 2 or 3 more relevant characters and like some jerk off stuff, you know, like spirits. Wait, no, what? In the video we watched yesterday, what were they saying? Because we were watching the first video of this yesterday. What was in Melee that they wanted to put in Brawl? Or what was in Brawl that they wanted to put in Melee? The blindfold, Smash Balls was one. No, it was Smash Balls. Because Captain Falcon's Blue Falcon voice line is in Melee. It's in the data or whatever. So, like, They recorded the VO for Final
your
Smashes.
spirits during tough times. May you have a long-lasting relationship with Melee. Next, we have an entire set of developer interviews dedicated to Melee. Check this out.
Ali sent me an Instagram reel, and he said it's stream friendly. Oh. Okay, it's actually stream friendly. It's health food stuff.
Congratulations on the release of Super Smash Bros. Melee. First, can you share your thoughts on this
Oh, we would.
project?
That's the other thing.
Sakurai.
We would have the
This project
we would
started
have the
without
Fire
knowing
Emblem
the exact
stage.
release timing for the GameCube,
You know,
or when we could get
If
into
if
development.
Melee had an
So he
extra
made
year
the
development
game
time, we would have the
flexible,
Fire
allowing
Emblem
for changes
stage
based on the GameCube's
and a few other
development status.
stages.
It was a challenging
Every
process
property
at
would have
first.
2 stages.
Kuraoka.
Is what it was referred to.
Having a large team this time meant that we couldn't pay attention to every detail, which is a regret. Also, the dual language support for Japan and the US in one software title was unexpectedly challenging. Kobayashi. My honest thought is, no matter how tough it was, it eventually ended. We had a substantial workload, especially for graphics, and there were times I wondered if we would ever finish, but now that it's done, I feel incredibly relieved. Suzuki. In previous projects, I was also programming, but this time, I managed the programmers entirely. Coordinating a team of unique individuals with different strengths and personalities was quite a task. Ondo. Before the release, hearing my music in the commercials and knowing that people nationwide were watching was incredibly moving. What was the main goal of this project?
Shut up, Single.
Sakurai. We needed the GameCube to sell well. While other companies were trying to create innovative games, we aimed to find the best way to make the GameCube succeed. I believed that broadening the GameCube's appeal was essential, so I chose Super Smash Bros. As the best option within my capabilities. How was developing for the new GameCube hardware different from previous projects? Ondo. Previously, we composed music by programming it, but with the GameCube's DVD media, we could use recorded music like a regular CD. This allowed us to use a full orchestra or solo guitar, which was a significant change. However, transitioning from the constraints of programming music to the freedom of recording was challenging. You used an orchestra for parts this time, correct? Ondo. Yes. Writing for an orchestra requires specialized knowledge. Unlike programming, where you can directly play a melody, real instruments have physical limitations, such as finger movement speed. Fortunately, a staff member in Tokyo, Sakai, had extensive orchestral knowledge and experience, so I learned a lot from him. What about the design aspect? There was a mention of a substantial workload earlier. Kobayashi. Indeed, the scale was significant. We had about 10 3D modelers, 8 for motion, and about 20 people from Creatures Incorporated helping. Additionally, another company handled the opening movie. The project's success was due to the combined effort of all these people. What unique experiences did you gain from such a large project?
This banana's not ready, bro.
Kobayashi. Meeting various talented individuals was the most significant aspect. Working with external talents introduced me to different methods and ideas. We also received character settings and data from the creators of the original characters, which was very inspiring. From a design perspective, what should players particularly focus on? Kobayashi. Personally, I want players to appreciate the overall graphics. The quality of the players, maps, effects, etc. is top-notch. Achieving this required everyone to improve their skills significantly compared to the previous game, especially given the GameCube's advanced hardware.
What was it called?
How was
What was I gonna say? Oh, the Marvel vs. Capcom collection comes out this week, which is fucking rad. I don't know if I'll buy it right away. I'll definitely buy it at some point when it releases on physical, probably on Xbox. Otherwise, we're probably gonna play Astrobot this weekend because that game has been on my fucking mind like all day. Like I've been listening to so much music from it. It's the tits, bro. It looks so good.
was the programming work divided? Suzuki. We had 15 programmers divided into teams for players, items, game systems, menus, and maps. While the dual language support was challenging, designing it to switch languages from the start turned out to be more efficient. Considering the project's large scale and short development period, what were the main challenges? Suzuki. Programmers worked until the very end, dealing directly with the final touches. Although this is always the case, this time was particularly intense, resulting in some people looking pale towards the end. What was the most critical aspect of programming for this project? Suzuki. The player section is the most critical, since it's what users interact with. While many modes and features are essential, the player control
it's like
must
an
be
autistic
flawless.
platformer. It's like Mario
How
Odyssey.
did the new hardware impact the program?
It's a little bit of Mario Odyssey mixed with a little
Suzuki.
bit of
It was both challenging and exciting. While some programmers faced
Pikmin,
new
I wanna
difficulties,
say. Not
others
really
continued
Pikmin,
working
though.
on familiar areas.
but
due to their
it's literally just like
expertise.
a cute little Mario.
What is
it's
essential
really
when
cool.
planning a game
It's
or
really
creating something?
And the music slaps.
Sakurai, always consider the user's perspective.
But it's
Balancing different
PlayStation only,
user needs
XCal,
without
fuck.
compromising on the overall experience is
You
crucial.
could watch. You could play it.
Even if it makes development harder, the user
play it
enjoyment
through
should
me.
always come first. This means considering the game as a product in the broader context of all entertainment and ensuring it stands out in the market. Thank you for all your time and insights. December 4th, 2001. Platinum Hall of Fame Champagne. Last weekend, we received an extra large bottle of Dom Perignon from
I'm
the
sorry,
editors of
Excal.
Weekly Famitsu.
I don't want to say what I'm going to say because you're going to tell me to kill myself. But you're right, XCal. You don't necessarily have to play the games, but you'll just main the character in Smash. That was pretty good, though. It's okay, XCal. I'm gonna hold the L on the Stomper app. So who's the real autist here? I don't want to hear the I fear. Well, I'm like, does it only take what's in the the fitness app on your iPhone? And also, are you able to like take away steps from other people? Am I understanding that correctly? Oh, by the way, I was fucking around with Greninja earlier today. I was practicing my Greninjas, right? And I fucking ran into Mars earlier. He fucking cooked the shit out of my Greninja. Ah, I had to try. Oh my god, hold on. Okay, never mind. Why are we running into so many jerkwads with this shit? Ah! What does this do? Oh, I forgot all the Final Smashes are stupid little cutscenes now. You know? That's lame. Scumbag. That was my Greninja on Showdown. You know, I never once played Pokemon. I never ever competed in Pokemon. Like the most I've ever done is like me and Allie would use a link cable back in Fire Red or something. But even then, like we did it once and then never again. I never took Pokemon seriously. Well, I mean, I'm a big Pokemon hater. Competitively, at least. No one say anything about this guy's tag, by the way. I think I need the character development right now. In order to beat this guy, I need to get my knees to hit. Because right now they're just not hitting. Beautiful back air. I need to end this on a knee. It can only, that's the only way. Cool. Well, no, Payphone, that's not true at all. Like, if he straight up did that, right? Like, think about the culture of the, you know, like the landscape at that moment in time. Like, in 2025, right? People will be like, you know what? I respect it, right? But like back whenever it happened, I don't know, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people would have not been cool with it. And you know, you can't assume shit like that. But I know what you're saying. I'm not teching it. Parrying it. Drunk. Get the fuck off. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see the swag there? The setup into the Raptor boost? Oh shit! Okay. You're right. You got it. You got it. Plat? Saibi? Holy shit. That's unbelievable. Yippee! Pussy. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. I'm feeling it this game. No siree, not for me. 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 Do you guys say it along with me? Or are you guys too cool for that? Oh, shit sauce. Fuck! Get the fuck out of here. Ow! Wow. Move. Fuck. That was beautiful. That was a curvy down air. Alright, last one against this bastard. Then we go far away. Oh, FD, I lose. I lose these. 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 This is what he's wanted all along. We're back, we're back, we're back, we're back, we're back, I'm back. I'm back! What a trade! What a trade! Oh my god, what a trade. I need another one, I need another one. Alright, we're back, we're back, we're back, we're back, we're back. Fuck you, brother. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna camp here because if he hits me with an electric doobity doo, what I was trying to say, if he hit me with an electric doobie-doo facing off stage, I'm okay. Fuck. Now I want to beat him on FD. Hopefully we get FD. Fuck. Because, like, I need to prove it to myself. And didn't I already win the 3 out of 5? No. Get the fuck out of here. Side B? Piece of shit. No. What a sick fucking confirm. Oh my god, bro. Fucking annoying. Don't care. Get the fuck out of here. La 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 la. Fuck you. Fine by me. Suck my ass lips. Suck my ass lips. Ass lips. Ass lips. Rolling. Wow, it's so good. You're so good at the game. No. Oh, we have to leave after that. I've never left harder. That must have been Falcon's asshole kill. What would you even call that? Nair 1, Falcon's asshole? Does that look good to you guys? Oh, sorry, Nair. Can someone give me a clip? No. See, this is why I can't stand this stage. How can you even see right now? You know, I can't see a fucking thing. All this light pollution. Yippee. Yay! Nair 1 kill. Perfect. Let me up the bitrate on the stream a bit. Oh, my leg fell asleep. GG's, Perry. I appreciate it. Sorry I didn't rematch. Do you think he's gonna nair? Oh, my fucking leg is still asleep. Ow. Do you think he's gonna nair? You think he's gonna nair? That's not what I wanted at all. I'm gonna lose this game. Scumbag. Oh. Do you guys see any Framos dropping? If so, I might need to suspend the YouTube stream again. I think Spectrum's really throttling our asses. It looks like it's lagoing a little bit. Let me see if I can change anything. You just stop it for now. Stop it for now. Increase this a little bit. Do you think he's gonna nair again? Please stop nairing. Bitch. That poked. Fucking laggy son of a bitch, bro. What the hell is this crap? Get the fuck out of here. Stop naring. Do you think he's gonna nair? Do you think he's gonna nair? Nair. I tried to time the parry. Fuck. Where's that clip? There it is. We're gonna lag for a second because this is uploading. The frame rate of the video you tried to upload was too high. What does that even mean? The fuck does that mean? It's not even 60 frames, is it not? Right. Oh, I forgot. Yo, props to this cloud for staying. Props to this cloud for staying. That would be one of those things where I'm like, nah, I'm out of here. Wow, Yoshi's. Crazy he didn't want to up B there. Alright, this guy has to be in the schmams after that. There's no way he's having a good time. Fuck! I tried so hard, and I got so far. Oh! That might be so. There might be something there. There might be movie there. Yeah, the new Linkin Park song is really good. I actually really like it a lot. That was fucking crazy. I like this cloud. This cloud, you have to admit, like, it takes ginormous nuts to rematch after getting cooked like that, you know? I'm so confused. Why is it saying that the video has a different frame rate? What the fuck does that even means? Bro, you guys should have seen me earlier. I was playing after I got back from my doctor's visit. My doctor's appointment, right? And I was using Greninja, and you ever have like those days where you just can't get a fucking dub and you're like fuming, you know what I'm saying? That was me with my Greninja today. I lost like 4 games in a row, and I was so pissed. I was like, I can't wait to fuck people up later with Falcon. Because, like, I lost to, like, a really bad Isabelle by, like, missing an up B and shit. It's because I was trying to play as Falcon, as Greninja, and you have to be really precise as Greninja. Falcon hitboxes are so obnoxious that, like, you don't necessarily have to. Because you have sour spots and back hits and shit. Greninja up air is, like you need NASA-grade precision. Meanwhile, Falcon could just be like, ha-ha. Ha-ha. Hardy har har. Look, ready, watch this. I'm gonna ha-ha. I'm gonna ha-ha kill right now. Ha-ha. Hoo hoo hoo. Ooh, you jumped. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hee hee hee. Ooh. Ooh wee. Was that a pack? What a crazy weight into that nair, you know? But so like my Greninja, I lost to an Isabelle, like a bad Isabelle. Then I lost to a Cloud that was really annoying because like I feel like I had his ass, right? Then I fucking ran into Mars as fucking Greninja. And you want to know the worst part? I literally what was it? Oh. The game started against Mars, right? I was AFK for a stock, because I refreshed Twitter and I saw James Earl Jones died. You guys saw that? That's some fucked up shit. Get the fuck out of here. No, Prince, don't even ask me about my danky kank. While he held away. I mean, when I think of James Earl Jones, I think of Mufasa. Because I'm not a big Star Wars kid. But also The Sandlot. He's the former whatever in the Sandlot movie. He's old. He was old too. He's like 93, right? Like, so it's one of those ages where you're like, oh, he was 93. Oh, God bless him. He made dash attack. I knew it. Please God in heaven. Please, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Please, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Ow! The fuck is his problem? I love this song. Can I get a sweat reading, please? 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 Show me the receipt. Show me the receipt. Show me the receipt. We have to have faced this guy before. The name is very, very familiar. Never mind. Bro, I was watching Asimo. I forgot who he was fighting against. But it was like he was like losing, and then he hit like a fucking like random up air, and he did it into like a confirmation into like up air 1 Shoryuken, and I was like, bruh, this character's fucking wild. This game has so many wild characters, wild, kooky, and crazy. I love that so much. It's like you turn into a speeding car. Ow, you fucking piece of shit. Good trade. Wow. Big wow. Oh, you want to fucking fight? Wee. Holy shit. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck you, motherfucker. Holy shit, he's a fucking speeding car. Thank you. Platform? Platform? Oh my god. This game sucks. Oh my fucking god, bro. Wow. Bro, it would not let me off the plat. Apparently, Cyrus, apparently Brita filters are not good. Like they're they're okay, but they don't really like do that much. They like there was like a study or some bullshit, right? Could have been propaganda. But like we use a Brita filter here, but realistically, right, like New York City tap water is generally good. great. God bless America. Oh, yeah. He's thinking Shoryuken. I mean, like, everywhere I travel to, for better or for worse, it's weird because I've grown up on New York City water, right? So like generally the water we grew up on is good, right? The tap water, but I still generally do not prefer tap water. I would rather get a fucking Poland Spring, right? But like if I'm thirsty and we were out of water here, I just fill up the tap or whatever. But that being said, everywhere I travel to, and I don't travel much. Like I go to I go to a couple states a year at most, and then I've only traveled internationally like twice. No matter where I go, I always try the tap water, and like I feel like that's a dangerous thing to do. Vegas's tap water tastes like snail piss. It's really bad. Fucking laggy son of a bitch, bro. That lag literally costed me a fucking back air. Get the fuck out of here. Doo-doo. I hate all that hit behind him. Come here. Come to Papa. Down B? Oh. Or down air? What an awful roll that was. He went to late Falcon Punch. What a bozo roll that was. What a rare cigarette. Do you think, like, when they were when they revisit adding Sora to the next Smash, right? And do you think a Disney executive is gonna start talking about the community and how non-Disney the community is, right? And then they may literally pull up a screenshot of this stream in a meeting. That's my dream, at least. Down there? Yippee! Doo-doo. I'm really excited to go to the ENT doctor later this week, though. Like, not that I get dizzy or anything from like a shortness of breath, but like the lady noticed like that I have like a bit like a purple shade here, and that could be because of something with my sinuses that they could help with. And I just thought it was like a pale boy problem all these years. Ah, I want to counter, but even then, if he countered, I probably wouldn't have hit him. God damn, that last little fucking twinkle toe snowflake. Platform? Never mind. Never mind. The fucking, Maul, his fucking ice move. I'm not calling him a snowflake, okay? I'm not calling him a snowflake, and I'm not red-pilled. I got a sneeze coming. Everybody sneeze with me. Oh, fuck. That was a good one. I gotta check on that banana. Maybe it's ready. It is not ready, and we got the same fucking Sora. Fucking drunk. That's the part that's most triggering to me. No, I don't use Opera GX. They don't even sponsor the streams anymore. I gotta eat this banana. I really want to. It's not ready at all. Look at this thing. It's gonna be like fucking just rock hard. Maybe if I hold it close to my bosom for a game, it'll be good. Banana break, banana break, banana break.
This was in celebration of Super Smash Bros. Melee being inducted into the Platinum Hall of Fame and their new game Cross Review. Thank you very much. The size of the Dom Perignon was impressive, but seeing Super Smash Bros. Melee engraved on the platinum-colored metal was truly moving. We plan to open this champagne at the team celebration party.
Fuck.
Now let's talk about what Sakurai has revealed in the past several years that sheds additional light on Melee's development. Unless you've been living under a rock, you may be aware that Sakurai has been uploading on YouTube on his Masahiro Sakurai on Creating Games channel. These videos have not only provided invaluable insights about the game industry and making games, but also reveal some development details about the key video game titles he's worked on. While they don't go tremendously in-depth, we do get glimpses from a few things we didn't know before. For starters, we were able to see part of Melee's design document, which showed a concept for the then upcoming GameCube controller with a jog dial. Presumably GameCube's controller design was not finalized at this point, so he included this suggestion in Melee's design document for a more tactile input option.
Oh, it's actually really good.
Here's the clip from the video.
時折任天堂の新機種が開発中である際、その機能についての提案を求められることがありました。ゲームキューブが開発されたり、スマブラデラックスを企画している頃からたびたび私が提案していたことなのですが、コントローラーについて要望が一つありました。ホイールが欲しいです。昔風に言えばジョグダイヤルとか。今でこそマウスにはホイールが標準的についています。ブラウジングなどをしている人はその便利さはわかると思うのですが、もしゲーム機にホイールがついているとメニュー選択がものすごく便利になります。またクリック感のあるホイールがあれば嬉しいとも当時思ってました。ゲーム遊びですからカリカリっと手応えがあることでより実体感が出ることでしょう。
Oh yeah.
We also got our first glances at the actual opening movie concept art sketches drawn by Sakurai.
I love
at
that
the end
these
of
are well
2000
documented.
/ beginning of 2001.
Like this, the Sakurai's.
We
We
also
gotta
get
start
some more
watching
thoughts from
Sakurai's
him
YouTube
on
channel. I
explaining
watched like
his
a few
regrets
videos,
about
but not
Melee's
all of them.
design and what went into Brawl's development as a result.
より良いところを狙って作るというのは一緒です。それと前作スマブラデラックスはスピードが速く極めようとすると操作難度が極めて高いため、初心者には難しすぎました。これはより高度な操作を求める上位層やその観客には良かったんですが、カジュアル層には厳しすぎます。まあそれによって検証になった選手とかもいましたしね、美点でもあるし反省点でもあると思います。少なくとも Wii は
Sakurai feels personally responsible for Mewtwo King's hands.
ほどマニアックにすべきではないと考えました。Wii リモコン横持ちへの対応などもありますしね。同じく高度な操作は当時のオンライン対戦では受けきれません。操作密度が高ければそれだけ駒飛びも目立つでしょう。当時の実機ですしね。よってゲームのスピードは抑えめ。比較的カジュアル寄りの調整になっています。
As of the upload date of this video, Sakurai hasn't stopped uploading to his channel yet, but the end is in sight. With well over 200 videos already, it's amazing how much content he's made in a relatively short amount of time, and I'm thankful for any behind-the-scenes information
200
he and many
videos.
other former HAL Labs devs are willing to share. To close out this section, I thought I'd share some of the early news articles from around the time of Melee's launch as well. Here are some of the highlights. From Nintendo World Report on March 7th, 2001 by Mike Skellens. Super Smash Bros. 2 confirmed. Here's how we know. Hi, IGN crew. I'd like to know what the possibility is of a few of the following games to make it to GameCube. Smash Bros. Type game, but with characters outside of the Nintendo universe, like Mega Man, Sonic, Spider-Man, etc. Matt responds, a Super Smash Bros. Sequel is underway by HAL. I've heard nothing of a similar styled game using such characters as Mega Man, Sonic, or Spider-Man though, and I wouldn't hold my breath for one like that if I were you. So that's it. Super Smash Bros. 2 is confirmed. Great day in the morning. Update. Sources close to Planet GameCube state that Nintendo is very interested in bringing the Smash Bros. Series to Game Boy Advance. Yippee!
Alright, break is over. Banana break is over. Banana break is over. We'll watch that whole video in like an hour or so. But I'm looking at Sakurai's YouTube channel. We gotta really jump into some of this at some point. Why not, right? A lot of these videos are only like 3 minutes, so 200 videos, you know? Not that bad. La la la. Suck my la. Reverse, 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 reverse. Reverse, reverse. Do do do. Whoopsie. Do. Turn it up. La la la. Fuck you. Suck this damage. Side B. Side B's coming. Peach side B is such a crazy move. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Pairing it. Fucking side B, bro. Ow! No! What a good piv that was. That was such a good piv. That was such a good piv. Stop rolling. Yeah, or just I love the Boondocks. And nostalgic. GameStop's earnings tomorrow. Really? Wait, so what? Nostalgic. Put that in normal person terms for me. I knew it. I fucking knew it, bro. Like, it's one of those things, so you just know it's all they want, and you still fucking sniff it out, but it doesn't matter. Do you think if Falco up tilts like that from beneath Plat, you see how his wing reaches above the Plat? Do you think Falcon Punch would hit him? Maybe. It's huge. My fucking tits are gonna be so sore tomorrow. My tits and my fucking my lower back are gonna be fucking sore as all hell. See, you see what the crouch did there? The crouch gave me a little bit more time to react to the fair. So it's like optimal to teabag. Gotta get some Cuck Melee and Cuck Melee Dance and Cuck Melee Disc in chat. I just need to be reminded of what's behind me. You want to go off stage? 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 You want to go for it? You want to go off stage for this kill? You want to go off stage? Please come off stage with me. Come with me. Come talk to me. Please talk to me. Please come talk to me. No, nostalgic, I never do. I don't give a fuck, is my answer to that question. I should ban you for that. Is it time to go on Instagram Reels and see what it gives me? First one. All right, last one. I don't know how this ended up being whatever. What the fuck is going on, bro? Instagram is hell. I don't know what to do, because that's the Your Bad's L account, okay? The Your Bad's L account, if you go on Reels, that's what you get. But then if I go on my personal Instagram Reel, my personal account, ready? Without fail, it's going to be Hasidic Jewish people. First one. Fucking without fail, bro. Without fail, literally nonstop. No Nan? Drop the Nan. Thank you. Drop the Nan again. Just Ref, there's a second Ni no Kuni game if you haven't played that either. It's not as good as Ni no Kuni 1, and I honestly never even beat it myself. But Chrono Trigger's amazing, and after you play Chrono Trigger, you should play Chrono Cross and Sea of Stars. Not really. I don't recommend Ni no Kuni 2 if that's what you're talking about. This is where I lose. Well, no, I didn't do anything. We had the YouTube stream going at the same time, but we were dropping some frames, but it wasn't like that bad. I don't know what this guy was smoking. Oh, really, Drainsaw? That's so sweet. That's fun, Drainsaw. So, when's the next time when are you guys gonna meet up again? Yeah, Wanda, I don't know. Sweat meter, sweat meter, sweat reading, sweat reading, sweat reading. Let me get a sweat reading, please. Let me get a sweaty reading, please. Buffer that scumbag. Down tilt. Oh. I've been standing for like 2 hours, I think, or like an hour. Ah. Oh. Thank you, Heisenberg. I appreciate it. All right, Maul. Drain, I got you. Never mind, bro. That's so fucking. That's ridiculous. That was a spiteful up B. Spot dodge. That's crazy. I can't believe that he did that up B just to spitefully deny me the pack watch. One day, Drainsaw, not 2 day. Get the fuck out of here. He's gonna up smash or dash attack. What a read. I think it was a phantom hit too. A phantom hit on the up smash. Do 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 do. Stop neutral being. Do do do. Ding ding ding. La la. Stop doing it. La la la. Fuck. Fucking bastard. We can lose, we can loo, we can loo. No! Oh. Oh my god, I would have ended the stream. I never streamed again. When does the Zelda game come out? Like the 20-something of this month? '26. What day of the week is that? I almost would reckon. Do you think the Switch 2 news would come before or after that? You know? I almost feel like it should happen soon. Otherwise, it's gonna take away from the like. It should happen like in the next week so that like we have time to digest it, and then Zelda comes out.
Rico village is nestled at the mountain's base. But you'll have to brave treacherous trails to reach the home of the Gorons.
It honestly looks super cute, you know? Did we not fight this guy last week? Yeah, magma. I remember hearing about that. Did they ever say why? My IDJ got fucked. Good trade. Oh, for create, I literally just refreshed Twitter. And it's right here. What a wait. Shit! I'm surprised how many characters that actually works on. Wow. He traded it. That really sucks ball. That sucks ball. Shut up, Drain, so I don't talk about my head scratch. I really want to fucking blow his little plant head off when he does the little pot move. Like that. Exactly like that. Shut up, Coltube. Cold Soup, I went in. You know how PlayStation's making an announcement tomorrow morning, right? They have the live stream on YouTube. I went into the chat on it at the beginning of the stream, and I said 9/11 was bad, right? And then so the next comment under it was like my favorite holiday. Shut up, Zinkle. What characters do? What character do we use? Wow, the stage just caught up that he was behind on his last stock. Oh, man, what a tray. Whoa, whoa, woo, woo, woo. No, Cold Soup, I will not. All right, last game, and then we're gonna watch this thing because I feel myself getting hit with a wave of tiredness. So I think the gym is gonna kill me soon. I gotta lock in. No. Yeah. All right, guys, put your thinking cap on. It's game developer hours.
Smash sequel. Returning so soon just to annoy Rick Powers, Louis the Rumor Cat has his take on the next Smash Bros. Game. HAL is working on a Smash Bros. Sequel for Nintendo GameCube. It is also making a Game Boy Advance version of the game. Here's another one. Also, we here at PGC are hearing that a Game Boy Advance version is being heavily considered, though it'd probably just be a port of the N64 version. Okay, so Planet GameCube Share Thing doesn't like WMV files, but you can't keep the truth down. These links will take you straight to the Windows Media videos of Super Smash Bros. Melee with close-ups of both Mario and Bowser. It may look like pre-rendered FMV, folks, but it's not. Trust us. We've played it. Ever since it was announced, hell, even before it was announced, people have been speculating on what characters would appear in the next Super Smash Bros. Game. Nintendo Box has a movie that reveals a large amount of characters. The movie shows the bio pages for said characters. It's still unknown as to whether or not they will be playable, but this certainly brightens our hopes. Sonic, Joanna Dark, playable in Smash Bros. Melee? Not quite. By Rick Powers, July 8, 2001. Magic Box seemingly uncovered more playable characters in Super Smash Bros. Melee, but something's fishy. Read on for the debunking. In addition to the news that Sonic and Joanna Dark will indeed be playable in Super Smash Bros. Melee on GameCube, there are several other interesting additions. Pit, Kid Icarus, is playable, as IGN Cube has surmised before. Other old-school favorites are back as well, including the Battletoads. Newer characters look to be included as well, as Mewtwo, Skull Kid from Zelda, Conker, and Banjo. While it is entirely possible that the screenshot at Magic Box has been doctored, note the missing picture for Battletoads, with all the already confirmed characters, there's little doubt that all these favorites will be playable when it comes to release. Still, no word yet on the hidden characters, as according to Magic Box, the list does not include hidden characters. Update, this pic is 100% fake, and this is in no way based on official information. Finally, here's an audio recording from Planet GameCube well before podcasts were a household name. This is a selection from Johnny Met's experience at E3 2001, some of which he was recording in real time.
This is so
and some he
cool.
recorded afterwards.
Like,
Take a
I
listen.
can't believe that we were looking at blog posts from June 2001.
Hey, this is Jonathan Metz, third edition, I think it is, of our E3 audio diary, and wow, today has been incredible. We got there, I guess, about an hour and a half before it started, about an hour before they started seating us, and then they opened the floodgates and let everybody into the press conference room, and it was crazy. Everybody was pushing on each other. It was like a mob trying to get there. Well, Max hung back in the back so he could take video for our PGC E3 video. Pre-order yours today. But the rest of us, pretty much all of us, got pretty close to the front. And the most striking thing when you went in there, there's two video screens on the left and one on the left and the right with some speakers. In the middle of this is this stage, and right in the middle of the stage is a podium with a GameCube in it and a controller. The new controller, which as it turns out looks exactly like the IGN mock-up that they put up the other
Yeah,
day.
this is a horror game of audio
red,
recording.
and it's a circle, and then the start button is this little tiny gray button. Other than that, it looks exactly the handles are longer than they showed at Space World, but they're not like really long. They're not as long as I think that clay mock-up that Fran made at IGN. It's like a compromise, and it looks really comfortable. So a lot of us were going up to the stage and taking pictures of that, and in kind of an interesting symbolic thing, but there was no glass over the GameCube. It was just sitting on top of the podium in like a little nest they had made for it. And it was just exposed, and they were making sure that people didn't get up on the stage and try to touch it or anything like that. But we got some really cool pictures of it, and it looks a lot smaller than I kind of imagined it, I guess. This is the first time I've actually seen one in person. The controller is like almost as big as the system, it looks like. And finally they started the show, and Peter Main comes out there and goes on about some sales figures and stuff like that everybody, nobody really wanted to hear. And finally, they brought out Miyamoto-san and started showing some video footage. And the stuff is incredible. The very first game, the first GameCube game that we saw, the first one that Nintendo's really admitted to with video was Super Smash Bros. Melee. And it's jaw-dropping. It looks like CG graphics. It looks like PlayStation FMV in some ways. And it's so fast. The special effects are everywhere.
That's the crazy thing to me, is we're never going to have this happen again. I'm not talking about Melee. I'm talking about like 3D in games was still fresh here because the N64 was just going away and the PS1 was a thing, and everything was so it was like such a wild west that seeing like games running at 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second and outside of cutscenes, it was just like your eyes didn't know what to do. Your eyes were so shocked. And like now we're at 4K going to 8K, right? Like that transition is not the same as the transition from really shitty like 20 frames per second 3D to Melee.
A visual orgy. All these characters, the princess is in there, Bowser, Ice Climber from like the really old Nintendo, NES game. The only character that was noticeably absent was Luigi, and I can only figure he's a secret character, Smash Brothers was incredible. They showed probably more video of it than any other game, and it just looks amazing. It's hard to even describe because Smash Brothers on N64 is incredibly fun, but the graphics aren't that impressive. They kept them pretty simple to make the frame rate really good and all that stuff. This GameCube Smash Brothers, it had the best graphics of any game they showed, and that says it all right there. And all three of those games, the Smash Brothers, Luigi's Mansion, and Pikmin, are going to be playable tomorrow. They showed a lot of second-party games after that. Donkey Kong Racing, which is is of course the sequel to Diddy Kong Racing, actually looked really good. But,
Donkey
it
Kong
wasn't up to
Racing?
par
What
with,
is he
like,
talking
Smash
about?
Brothers. That's the graphical king of all the ones they showed. It just blew them all away, in my opinion.
Hey everyone, this is Jonathan Metz clocking in for the fourth and final edition of my audio E3 diary. I wish I'd gotten to do this more during the show, especially after the first day, but things were a bit hectic, as I'm sure you all know. But needless to say, the show was fantastic. I thought I'd say, just a few things about how the show was overall and what happened while we were there. So as you can imagine, we were the first people there at the doors closest to the Nintendo booth. About 8:30, 9 o'clock, a lot of people started showing up, getting ready. By 9:30, there were probably getting on to about 1,000 people in the lobby waiting to get in, and we were at the very front. And all the stupidness and idiocy that you feel when you get there 3 hours early, being at the front starts to feel pretty good when you look back at 1,000 people in line behind you. By the time they actually opened the doors, we had about 10 people there at the front of the line, and Planet GameCube was the first to Nintendo's booth, or at least the first media. It turns out that when we got there, they'd been letting exhibitors in all morning long, which is normal, because exhibitors have to go set up their booths and get things running and get ready for the onslaught at 10 o'clock. And unfortunately, a lot of exhibitors apparently don't care much for their own booths, because there were quite a few of them in Nintendo's booth when we got in there, and even being literally the first to the door and running full blast all the way to Nintendo's booth, I still had to wait through 2 other people before I could play Smash Brothers, which is my first game. But that's how it goes. It wasn't a problem last year, but there are a lot more people this year and a lot more exhibitors. So, and even business people want to play GameCube, so they got to get their shot at it too. Nintendo's booth was absolutely the most crowded thing I've ever seen in my life. There were points where you literally just had to stand there for 5 minutes and wait for the crowd to die down before you could walk any further. The problem is that they would have, for instance, kiosks for Star Fox Adventures on one side, cameo elements of power on the other side. They'd be facing each other, and they'd be probably 10 or 15 feet apart, which seems like a pretty wide alley to walk through until you realize that people are stacked up 5 or 6 people deep in line to play these games. Then you basically, it's a matter of stepping on people's feet and saying excuse me or screw you, get out of my way an awful lot to get where you want to go. I'm not going to talk about the games that much. We're putting up impressions like Mad Men, and I've still got quite a few to do myself actually, and I'm just a lot more eloquent in writing than I am talking, so I don't think I can do justice to games just talking about them like this anyway.
This is a very young Jonathan Metz from 2001, but I had the pleasure of actually speaking with him in 2024, so here's some excerpts from that interview. Thanks so much for chatting with a stranger. I know it's not your first foray in that. If you don't mind.
Some practice.
Yeah, you do. You have some practice. I'd love to know a little bit more about you, so maybe give like a quick summary of who you are and what you've done in the past, and then we can kind of go from there.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Hi, my name is Jonathan Metz, and I am an engineer by trade, but probably the reason you wanted to chat with me about this is that I wrote for and edited and helped manage a website called Nintendo World Report for about 15 years. And before that time so I started writing for Nintendo World Report in its original form called Planet GameCube, and even a little bit before that, going back to 2001. So yeah, I was around when Melee first debuted.
Nintendo World Report has been an invaluable resource, not just for like the sheer content on there, but the fact that a lot of the original posts from that era, when it was Planet GameCube, it has remained intact, largely untouched, and that's been just a surprisingly fun way to go back and just like kind of go into a time machine. It's fantastic.
I'm so glad to hear that. It's one thing that I love about the website is its longevity and the staff's commitment to maintaining all that archival content, because it is like a snapshot in time, and at this point it's over a really long stretch of time. The site is this year is 25 years old, and we have 99% of the content I think that was ever posted to it is still available, still searchable. It's up there with today's hottest headlines, and the latest game reviews. You can go back and read all of the reviews we wrote for the GameCube launch in 2001, and even some stuff from earlier than that. So yeah, I love that that's available, and that some people find it useful or interesting. I have fun just going back and browsing through that old stuff, you know.
Yeah, if only the other websites you link to were just as committed as you guys, right?
Well, you know, it's frozen that way, and I do think we're a relic of the old internet, and like it's sort of a living tribute to that whole legacy. And yet they're still posting new stuff every day, you know, reviews, videos, podcasts, all kinds of articles all the time, and that's so exciting. And I love to, you know, now I've been retired from the site for almost a decade, and I love that it's still
around.
going
Let me
on.
see.
It's developing its own personality. It's becoming a
I
new
think they
thing
are.
for a new generation of people, and made by a new generation of all
Yeah,
volunteers.
they are. Wow, cool.
And it's a wonderful thing.
The site looks
how
like
did you-
shit.
How do you end up being chosen to go to E3 2001, or was it another process where you kind of signed up again?
I know that in 2001, we took an enormous team of people. We tried to spread everything as much as we could to everybody, you know, anybody doing anything for the site, because everybody volunteered. So we tried to make sure everybody felt like they were included and got some kind of benefit for all the work they were doing. And for E3, it was like, hey, if you want to come, sign up. We'll make it work. And at the time, part of what helped was that we were extremely popular. The site had an enormous traffic profile for the time, for the conditions. It was, seriously, it was competitive with sites like IGN and GameSpot. Probably trailing far behind those sites, but like it was in the tier. It was kind of in the conversation with sites like that. And that certainly was not true within a few years later, you know, so I don't want to make it out like the site's always been this juggernaut, but this was a very particular moment in time back in 2001 where we had a site called Planet GameCube that had been called that since the day the GameCube's name was announced. And it was already an established site from before that. So we had updated Planet in 2000 to become Planet GameCube, and Planet GameCube was one of the biggest sites for GameCube information several months, maybe even more than a year before the GameCube actually came out. So in the E3 2001, Planet GameCube was in its prime. It was still a fairly new site, but it was more mature than a lot of our competitors, and we had a very passionate audience, and we were putting up very hot updates literally 7 days a week all year round. So it was a very vibrant community, and we had a lot of access at an event like E3 where the GameCube was being shown for the first time, really.
I'd love to hear a bit about you talk a little bit about your experience there, and I'd love to learn whatever you can remember from that initial day. What do you remember from that day, and what do you remember about Nintendo and Smash Brothers Melee?
Gosh, you know, we were really stoked about all the games they announced. As I recall, a lot of them, including Smash Brothers, a lot of them really, we didn't get much information on them the day of the press conference. They were shown in a trailer or they were shown in a montage, and there was no one necessarily on stage introducing this game, telling you the features, telling you when it's coming out, telling you who's making it. That, you know, in a lot of cases, even for really big games, Nintendo would just sort of show a 15-second video, and then the rest of it is, well, you're gonna have to play it for yourself because it's on the floor. And so that's kind of my memory of Smash Brothers, is like, I don't think we broke down the footage second by second and poured over every detail and tried to figure out, you know, what are all these new items and what are these different levels, how are they going to play. we didn't have time to go into that level of detail on every trailer. I mean, it was a big deal for us just to get like the B-roll, to get the B-roll on a VHS versus a beta back then. You had to like ask specifically for a VHS. This is before DVDs, like in 2001. Most people didn't have a DVD player. So we would get the B-roll from the press conference, and that's a lot of additional footage that wasn't actually shown at the event. Like, this is stuff you can splice into a news broadcast where you're trying to show some of the hottest games that appeared at this week's E3. But for us, it's just a treasure trove of extended, uncut video clips from all these games. And this was before video distribution online. So to have this tape and be able to watch all this additional footage of the games that had been announced just a couple hours earlier at the press conference, and most people, even people who attended the press conference, had only seen a few seconds of video. So to have the B-roll and to get to put that in your hotel TV and have a hotel room of 20 people packed in trying to watch it, that is thrilling. That is really exciting stuff. And we're not having like a structured conversation and picking apart what we're looking at. It's more like, it's just like people shouting and cheering and arguing the entire time, and a lot of, shh, shh, shh. They're showing Zelda now or whatever. They probably weren't showing Zelda that year. No, not in 2001. But anyway, it was just really exciting. And
thank
then
you,
it
Loaf.
was like,
I
hey,
appreciate it, man.
We've been writing all day. We've been trying to get these news stories out. We're gonna get food delivered to the hotel to make sure everybody eats something for dinner, because it's very easy to skip meals when you're working as hard as we were. And then, hey, let's everybody, please, I know you want to stay up and talk with your friends and chat online and think about and dream about all the things that we're going to do tomorrow, but actually you got to sleep. You really, really, really need to get sleep, because tomorrow is another 20-hour day. So it just felt like the next day came so fast, like you weren't even ready for it before it's time to get up and go out there and actually play all these things.
Yeah, that was an amazing recap. I mean, I'm getting excited just hearing you talk about it. It just, I can't imagine going, rushing to a hotel room with legs that I'm sure were sore and everyone was tired, but there was probably so much excitement and just like whooping and hollering at the sheer spectacle that was the B-roll in the hotel room. That sounds
and
so cool.
Critically, David, I was a teenager, so my body couldn't really take all of this, but it managed to soldier on anyway. And now, if I did this, I'd have to go see a doctor like before I could be cleared to go back to the show the next day.
So that was day 0. I'd love to know a bit more about day 1. What was like? I remember from your recording you talk about how you were the first in line, but it didn't matter because other folks from other booths were already playing the game before you were able to.
It's a very deflating moment, very funny in retrospect. And I gotta say, I was really curious to play Melee, because we had seen the footage from the day before, and especially when you looked at the B-roll, you started to get a sense of the increased scope of that game and the variety of art styles that they were pulling off on the GameCube that you really couldn't try to do on the N64 in the same way. And you get a sense of just how many items they've added, how many characters and levels they've added, how much more complicated all these combinations could become in a game like that when you build on it from what they started on N64. So I was very fascinated by the idea of a sequel to that game and what they were doing with it. And my first thoughts as I approached that demo kiosk were that the game looked absolutely incredible. The graphics on Melee were so surprising to me. I think there were 15 or 20 playable GameCube titles that E3 over Nintendo's booth. I mean, they had a pretty decent launch lineup, I think, and a lot of post-launch stuff. And Melee, I wouldn't have guessed from that N64 game, I would not have guessed Melee to end up being a graphical showcase on the next system. But they pulled off something with the image quality on that game, and I think it's the texture detail. I remember one of the first memories I have of seeing Melee up close at that demo was that someone had paused the game and was spinning the camera around and zooming in on Mario's overalls, and you could see the stitching in his overalls and the buttons on it. And I remember thinking, that is such a weird detail to include, a weird level of detail to have in a game where the camera is zoomed out and you're trying to look at the whole stage at once, you know? And his character's going to be really small over there in the corner of the screen. And I didn't understand at the time how much this sort of photo mode where you could pause the game and pan around, you know, how important that would become, and how much the presentation of Smash Brothers would revolve around views and perspectives on the action that aren't really possible while you're playing the game. I really did feel that Melee looked crisper than the other GameCube titles there. It ran smoother, it ran faster. The whole game just plays faster than something like Luigi's Mansion, you know, so it's immediately more exciting. And the variety of characters was already at that time better than what we'd seen in the previous game. And of course there were tons of secret ones that would have to wait to be broken on Planet GameCube several months later, a couple weeks before the game launched, and pissing off a lot of fans around the world and Nintendo. Yeah. Back
to your original experience of, you know, the person, you had to wait 5 minutes even though you were first in line, but then you got to play it and you said the graphics really stuck out to you, the art design. Can you describe, like, do you remember anything about the booth itself or how it felt to pick up a GameCube controller for the first time or any of the things like that?
Yeah, the booth at that year, I remember pretty clearly that it had sort of a central area with a lot of TVs set side by side. And that's pretty typical, just rows of kiosks to fit in as many people as you could. But there was an outer ring, sort of near the outer boundary of Nintendo's booth that year, where they had theater rooms that were cloaked in, I mean, they're not true rooms, they're not truly structural, but they were basically booths, sort of, you know, like the size of a small room. And they had them cloaked in big black cloth to shut out everything from outside. And for that reason, it wasn't really clear that they were there or what they were, you know, or that there were games inside.
That'd be interesting, Jawan, but I think they're just they would just re-release Smash 64
I happened to
on the Switch Online, you know?
And I thought, hey,
but
what's that? And
I wouldn't
so
fucking be surprised if you're right.
It's sort of like a private game demo within Nintendo's much larger booth at the show. And I think it's one of those where I played Smash for the first time. And so even though it's a big, loud event, you know, tens of thousands of people milling about, and a lot of them concentrated literally in the area where we were, over by the Nintendo and right next to it, the Sony booth. But in this little pocket of quiet, relative quiet and darkness, you could really focus on the game, and you could have a quieter conversation with someone doing the demo for you. So I think that was the setting in which I played the game for the first time. And you know, my feeling on it was, wow, I can't believe I'm finally holding this controller. I don't know what to do with these buttons, or why is the shoulder button analog when it just brings up a shield for my character? I don't know what's analog about that. I mean, there were a lot of really basic things to figure out that it's a little hard to appreciate now, looking back on it. But yeah, you know, I remember thinking that Melee felt so much faster than the original game, and the characters sort of felt like they jumped higher, and they fell faster, and they dashed around more, and oh wow, there's a whole extra special move for every character. So there's just going to be a lot more to remember and to figure out how do I build my tactics around all this. And yeah, you know, those were the kind of thoughts that I would have been dealing with. My first impression of Melee was just, gosh, this came out of nowhere. You know, the first game wasn't even that old, and it seemed already they had far surpassed what they were trying to do with the N64 game. And that was evident even from the demo. I still think it's one of the greatest E3 demos I ever played, because it really it captured the fun of that game and the odd feel of that game, and the sort of, again, like a very impressive presentation and attention to detail. All of that's captured in that E3 demo, which ended up being just a very small slice of the total content. But the way I feel about Smash now, the things I like about it, I recognized from the very first time I picked up the controller and played it. And that's a good demo. That is hard to do.
Yeah. And by the way, anyone listening or you, if you have a copy of this demo, please contact me.
Yeah, that I need that on Earth
distinct
now.
From the one they took around public at the Cube Clubs, because that was probably September, October of that year, and I remember that being a much bigger demo where they had Zelda and Sheik, and Samus was in that demo. A lot of characters had been added, so the E3 demo was really much more limited, and I think that was the first time it was playable. Yeah.
I'm really interested. What was the crowd like? What was everyone around you like in that environment that you can remember?
Oh my gosh, I don't remember the crowd a whole lot. I mean, it is such an ocean of humanity when you're at those E3s. You can't. I always had the feeling like you can't really look at someone's face for too long because there are too many faces. You know what I mean? Like, my brain wants to try to remember what people look like and what they're wearing and what's the name on their name tag and all this stuff, and there are too many people there for you to possibly remember or even process it all. And so it's kind of like when you live in a big city, you know, at some point when you have to get used to the crowds, and you just sort of have to learn to navigate through them to where you're going and try to respect other people on the way. But like, I'm not really paying that much attention to the people around me because it's overwhelming. And the sound, gosh, in those days, now Nintendo's booth was one of the best places to be for sound. But if you walk to the other side of that room, or if you went over to South Hall with all the third-party publishers, it was deafening. It was louder than a rock concert in there.
What?
It was like several rock concerts happening at the same time, and they're trying to drown each other out. Because the convention wasn't enforcing any kind of rules about volume, about, you know, flashing lights back in those days. I mean, a lot of it was competitive spectacle. You know, 2001 was probably around the time that Activision had an entire skating half pipe built up in their booth, and they had Tony Hawk and other people dropping from cranes at the ceiling of the building down into the pipe, and doing tricks there with like Konami and EA's booths and Ubisoft blasting all kinds of crazy stuff around them while all this is going on. And that was an environment that most people couldn't really stand to be in for very long. Like, you had to go in there and do your business and then go somewhere else. It's just too much. I say all that so that you understand that when Nintendo provides all their hottest demos in private theater booths where you can go inside and sort of close a curtain behind you, it's miraculous. Like, that is a place you want to be. You want to stay there. You know, you want E3 to be only that once you've experienced it.
Oh my gosh. There's probably so much more to say, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. I guess looking back, what's your most vivid memory of, you know, maybe something specific about Melee, and then just more broadly at E3 2001 that really sticks with you to this day?
My memories of the show at large are really complicated because it was the first time I met so many people, the first time I did so many things. It was so big you had to live it to appreciate it. I mean, it really an incredible moment in my life, and some really cherished memories from E3 2001. About the game in particular, I guess, you know, like all those super detailed thoughts that I had about playing Smash that year are written down and still online, or maybe even I spoke them into a microphone at some point. But I guess looking back now, the thing that I kind of take away was that Smash Brothers went from being a game that I honestly definitely did not expect that it would get a sequel. I didn't know really what I would want in a sequel to Smash other than like very obvious stuff like, yeah, just put in more characters, you know, but like nothing. I couldn't have imagined the kind of overhaul and expansion that they did for it. You know, it was striking. It's kind of like if you went from Brawl to Ultimate, directly to Ultimate. It's just like, whoa, what happened? How did we get here? You know, Melee just felt like, wow, this is the premier launch title. Presumably at that time it was presumed to be a launch title. Turned out to be not quite. But it's like,
really, Spuffs? It's very interesting and very
like it was
it's satisfying, but it's starting to age a little bit, right? Because there's no tilts
at E3.
No, there are
and,
tilts.
You know, it's
there's no forward tilt specials.
The day before the show, we didn't know that game
there's stuff that's missing.
And all of a sudden, it feels like the highlight of their E3 showcase, and turned out to be one of the biggest selling games of the system and of that whole generation, and really the true start, I think, of a massive franchise that's still going today. Yeah, it was wild to go home from E3 obsessing over Smash and replaying the Smash demo in my head. That's not something I would have predicted.
That's so cool. Also, other last question: what happened to your southern accent?
You know, I moved around the country. I lived with people from other parts of the country and other parts of the world, and it just melted away over time. And it comes back a lot when I'm around family, or when I go back to Alabama. Definitely, it comes out. And all I can tell you is I'm not in charge of it.
Yeah, we just need some kind of evidence that you and the person from 23 years ago we hear at an E3 account are the same person. You know, that's all I'm saying.
I mean, it's the same person plus a whole lot of living.
We'll take your word for it. Johnny, thank you so much for chatting with me, and it was just really fun to hear you talk about that.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it's been a pleasure speaking with you.
All right, Johnny, take it easy.
Yeah, you too.
If you'd like to listen to the entire interview, I have it on my bonus channel linked in the description below. It was an absolute pleasure talking to Jonathan, and if you're down for some core nostalgia, I definitely recommend checking it out. Something that would greatly improve our research is getting a copy of the E3 2001 Melee demo disc. If anyone knows anyone who might have a copy of this, please reach out to me. I would absolutely love to cover it in a video. This now brings us to the period just after Melee's release. Let's start with a few more diary entries from the HAL Labs website. July 19, 2002, Tokyo Game Lounge. Our director, Sakurai, appeared on the show Tokyo Game Lounge with Tetsuya Mizuguchi and Hisakazu Hirabayashi on radio. The discussion started with the concept behind the creation of Kirby, touching on the ideas and feelings that went into it. Then it delved into the development of Super Smash Bros. From its inception to completion, guided by game analyst Hirabayashi and UGA's Mizuguchi. They also covered general topics about game design, offered insights that you don't usually hear. It's a must-listen for aspiring game creators and industry professionals alike. August 28, 2002, Super Smash Bros. Melee Orchestra Concert. Hello, I'm Sakai from the sound team. This is my first time writing for the staff diary.
Who the
I
fuck
haven't
is
kept
that,
a diary in
Spuffs?
decades, so I'm quite nervous. Yesterday, we successfully held the Super Smash Bros. Orchestra
Man,
concert.
they need to do it. They
It
need to
might
do a
sound
modern Smash
self-serving, but it was
orchestra. Why
incredible.
not? They do
Under
a Zelda
the passionate
one.
director of conductor Taizo Takamoto, the orchestra delivered an intense performance that resonated even backstage. It gave me goosebumps. I genuinely believed it was an outstanding performance. Sakurai, our host, even remarked it was a once-in-a-lifetime performance, a sentiment I wholeheartedly agree with. Between the afternoon and evening sessions, Nintendo's Mr. Kondo and Mr. Todaka visited our dressing room, providing a valuable and enjoyable time. We rarely have the opportunity to interact with sound professionals from other companies, so it was a delightful experience. This concert was made possible thanks to the cumulative efforts of many people, especially Nintendo's Mr. Kondo and Mr. Todaka, whose iconic works provided the foundation. Without Mario's music, for instance, this concert wouldn't have been possible. Since yesterday, I've received many thank you emails from guests, staff, and orchestra members. They all mentioned how impressed they were with the hospitality of HAL Laboratory staff. Our team dressed sharply in suits, and greeted the guests warmly at the entrance, which made a great impression. I was particularly surprised and pleased to hear similar feedback from backstage. Hosting this concert made us happy, pleased our audience, and delighted the participants and organizers. It was an ideal outcome, and I hope we can hold such an event again in the future.
I'm going to the Final
Thank
Fantasy
you.
concert
And to
next
the sound
year.
Staff, great job, Maru. Takamoto Taizo posted in 2018, reminiscing about this experience at the concert. Here's what he said. In February 2002, we held the Final Fantasy concert, followed by the Super Smash Bros. Melee concert in August. This marked the beginning of my journey in game music concerts. 16 years have passed since then, with Super Mario and Zelda concerts following in subsequent years. This year, I am committed to staying true to my roots, enjoying the process, and giving it my all. This was a smaller find, but I recently noticed Peach's portrait in the beginning of Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga on Game Boy Advance has a striking resemblance to her portrait in Melee. I haven't seen any other examples of Melee portraits reused in other games like this, so I wanted to call it out. Something else fairly obscure but interesting is that the showcase for the early version of Mario Kart Double Dash uses placeholder carts and Mario and Luigi models, which happen to be the Mario and Luigi models directly from Melee. As stated in an Iwata Asks interview, Melee was nearly ported as is to Wii with no character balance changes and with the addition of online play. This would have been Nintendo's backup plan had Sakurai not agreed to make a sequel title.
2005年の E3 Wii の発表の次の日、岩田社長直々に Wii 版スマブラの制作オファーを受けました。この辺りやチームの組閣は長くなりそうなので別途まとめようと思いますが、一つだけ触れると、フリーになった私がこの仕事を受けなかったらスマブラデラックスの26体のファイターには全く手をつけず、そのまま Wii で出されていたかもしれません。かつて岩田さんがそのように語っています。
To make Brawl's proposal document, Sakurai used Melee screenshots as placeholders to illustrate his vision for the next game. Here you can see Melee Mario on Yoshi's story, with some effects drawn on to illustrate a final smash, clearly something he's had in mind since the beginning of the series. In a talk Sakurai gave at GDC 2008, he talked a bit about the difference between Melee and Brawl's art style. Take a listen.
Now, something that's more difficult than just creating character graphics was making sure all the characters felt the same. While the Wii is not a high-definition console, you still run into a stylistic gap when increasing the detail with which you represent different types of characters from different series. For example, I think you're familiar with Bugs Bunny. So if we had Bugs Bunny fighting against a photorealistic character, the result would be unnatural and visually disruptive. So how do we go about closing that gap? That's what I'd like to talk about next. Colors from Smash Bros. Melee look something like this. And now I say something like this because it's not an actual screenshot, but just something to represent what the colors look like in the game. To deal with the problem of a unified character feel in the last Smash Bros., we added accents like the feel of denim, etc. But we didn't have the same flexibility with colors. They were clearly defined. Mario's red is red and Green's Link was green.
I love this.
And now, for this game, the image, well, this is what we were looking for. So, this image we put together to illustrate what we're aiming for is made up by adjusting a lot of things through the extensive use of intermediate colors, strengthening of textures, focusing on light sources, etc. We tried to reduce the sensation of things not fitting together by unifying the feel of the materials. As you can see here, on the left here is the official Mario, and on the right is the Smash Brothers version of Mario. The overalls of the official Mario are cobalt blue, and the small details have been reduced. It's not like a cartoon, let's say, but again, the details have been reduced. Now, of course, this is a great model, and Nintendo requires a strict observance of this design. However, for us, they allowed us to add details, and that's where we came up with the Super Smash Bros. Mario, shown here on the right. Here's a close-up of Mario's midsection. Look closely, and you can see scuffs and scrapes in the materials of his overalls. This isn't because we wanted simply to add realism, but because we thought it was natural. And so when we put the characters side by side, we wanted them all to feel like they belong together. I'd like to stress that it's not the additional graphic power of the Wii, but the improvement in staff ability that enabled us to carry out more detailed presentations this time around.
You can see a version of Ocarina of Time Link with Brawl-styled textures. Pretty interesting. You can also see a simpler version of Brawl's battlefield stage and background with more vibrant colors. I hope you enjoyed this trip down memory lane. If you enjoyed it, as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you are able. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless.
Perfect. Alright, well, I gotta call it a night, boys. It's 1 in the morning, and I gotta go to sleep. I will see you guys probably Wednesday. We'll watch some other shit. I honestly want to start unpacking Sakurai's channel. But David has a lot of good videos on his channel. Like, you know, stupid shit like, what if Smash, Wii U, 3DS, and Ultimate were one game, right? Like a lot of shorter hypothetical videos. What if Melee was the first Smash? This is what we were talking about earlier. Like, what if Melee had more development time?
New first-party stages would include Bowser's Castle, Mario Raceway,
Look how cool this is. This is so
Wario's
cool.
Castle, Forest of Hope from Pikmin, and Sky Palace from Kid Icarus.
Alright guys, have a good one. I'll see you guys later. Wednesday, I'll see you guys, and hopefully we'll play Astrobot this weekend. Otherwise, yeah, shove it up your ass. Have a good one. Fuck you.